Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to FTR Season 2, Round 4 here for the Chinese Grand Prix, and pain is the only word I can describe this season as how it's going. I would do a Captain Holt impression from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but I don't really have the voice to do that. I'd hope that some people would get the reference there. But here for China, we're going to have to try and reverse our luck, try and get a decent result out of this race. And from the practice races that me, Alex, and Casper were doing, we were pretty quick. Alex is just insanely quick at this track because he races on a pad. Just sort of wait for all the worms to bite at that, or wait for all the fish to bite those worms. Yeah, I think we might be able to get a podium. At the very least, top 5 for this race. That's sort of our goal, is just to consistently get top 5. That was my goal at the start of the season. Given how the first 3 rounds have gone, we're going to need to maybe start winning some races. It's going to be easier said than done. God, I'm not excited to record this video at all. You'll see why later. Spoilers. But as you see, we're going to come to complete our first flying lap as Red Gorilla gets disqualified from the session. I don't really know why, but whatever. I guess that's his kink and he wants to get disqualified from qualifying. Fair enough. It's probably a game glitch. I wouldn't put it past Codemasters. As we come across to complete our first lap, it's a 30.8. Nearly a second behind Casper, who is also ridiculously quick at China, but he races on a wheel, so yeah. You know, the interesting thing was before this race, about 2 hours beforehand, I thought if I'm still a second off Alex and Casper, I will try the pad. And I will see how quick I am on the pad as we come across to complete our second flying lap. We improved by 5 tenths, and we were P3, we're still 8 tenths behind Casper. Even Alex thought Casper's lap was outrageously quick. But yes, I tried a lap on the pad to see if I was remotely quick or like anywhere close to their time. I got through the final corner in span, so I just went back on the wheel. That's how desperate I'm getting, or was getting at this point, to actually have a decent result. But now, at the end of qualifying, this is going to be our final lap. We're going to hopefully improve to at least maybe P3 in qualifying. We don't really have the qualifying pace. I know that myself and Alex have very good race pace. If Casper's quicker in qualifying, but usually quicker in the race. So let's try and get as close to him as possible, not get held up by economic berry and wax at the start. As you can see, we went green in the first sector, but coming through the second sector, we're actually down on our time massively. We gain a little bit through the S section, so we're going to be about half a tenth up as we come to the end of the final sector. Now actually we're over a tenth, nearly a tenth and a half up, coming into the final snail section. I could have rode the curb a little bit more there, but I feel like that would have lost me a bit more time. Wanted to play it safe as well with the track limit, so now we're coming through this sail section onto the main straight. We actually had a good run through there, but a pretty poor exit. We got onto the power about a half a tenth, quarter of a tenth too late. That's going to affect us by about 100th going down this entire straight. Into the braking zone, off the hairpin, brake nice and late, get the car rotating in first gear. Shift up, don't need to short shift. I feel like I've got good control over the car. We're now 3 tenths up as we throw it into the final corner. 4th gear and run to the line, hold it in 6th, and we improved by 3 tenths to go position 4. Unfortunately, we didn't drop into the 29s, but you can see there, we're still 8 tenths off. I mean, Casper had an absolutely outrageous lap. So I guess we've got to try and hope that our race pace is better, and I think it usually is. So We'll get into the race now, and let's hope for at least a top 5 finish. And whilst we're going around on the formation lap, I shall leave you to listen to how me and Alex communicate on the formation lap, see what we talk about. As currently we're talking about strategy. It's raining at the end of the race, so it might. I don't think it's worth going on mediums.
Yeah, I can go.
Let's see, we're messing around with strategy, but we're talking about who's pit on what lap, etc.
Lap 6.
But I'll join you for the start of the race after the formation lap.
Yeah, lap 6 and lap 14.
If I'm still behind Casper, I'll just try and undercut him if he goes.
Yeah.
A lot longer, but I'm not going to go any earlier than 6. Because that's just suicidal. My tyres are well hot, they're like 80 degrees, what the fuck?
So minus 75. My tyre wear is 11 at the front left.
Really? Mine's 8. If worse comes to worse, I don't mind going a lap longer if it means your tyres are worse. But to be honest with you, mine probably get worse than yours during the stint, because that's normally what happens, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
But we'll see. I hope Papa doesn't go for a fast formation lap again.
Jeffrey said weather is looking good so far.
Soft medium, isn't it?
Yep. No, she's got considerably darker on my screen.
Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah. The shade of dark just got a lot darker. That's concerning, isn't it?
Just a touch.
I've got a feeling if Casper is in front of anyone into turn 1, he's gonna keep the lead, because I've just got a feeling he is. So I'm gonna try all I can to get a good start, and then hold him up not hold him up, but just keep him behind.
Yeah.
So I know he's running higher downforce. So.
Well, don't compromise your race for the sake of
no,
mine.
I won't compromise it. It's just I'll try not to let him go if I don't get ahead of him. Who's leaving the fucking massive gaps?
I don't know.
It's fucking Berry, look at him. Oh, he's spun.
It's
Eaglings in AI. I'm clipping this. I'm clipping that right now.
Well, I waited till they're taken control.
So here we are lining up for the start of the race, and we're in P4, right behind our teammate. Let's try and hope for a decent start, hold the inside line. We might be able to get Wax off the start as soon as we have the inside.
Right.
Well, we're just waiting for the rest of the cars to line up now. And the sky goes a little bit more orange. The hue sort of increases a little bit. But we're waiting for Wax to join, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and everyone's disconnected, and it's lights out and away we go. There's X's next to everybody's names. Wax is disconnected right next to me, and yeah. We've disconnected. What's a race? Yeah. I got nothing. I really don't have anything.
So hopefully I can,
we join in a lap later now. We're P14. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Oh, it was so frustrating. It's not even the first time. This happens 3 times in the race, I think. It's just not even funny. We could have had a good result here. And I've been cooked into 14th place now. Yeah, whatever. I guess we should go try and move on. We've got to accept that we're going to get disconnected a few times. Luckily, the problem has resolved itself. And this is so far, touch wood, this is the only race that it's happened. I believe I had like 1 disconnect in in this League v League tournament that we did. But the weird thing is, it was fine throughout the day. Me and Alex were practicing for like 4 hours in the afternoon, and it was fine. I never disconnected once. Come this race, and it was just like, yeah, no, it's happening. You know, because luck is apparently fun. As Lucky Slevin, who already has bad internet connection, likes back and that. That scared the crap out of me. I thought that was it. I thought I was getting touched into the shadow realm there, but he's on the hards. He runs wide. Also, Fish has had a moment with someone.
Yeah, it was slow spam.
Wed Gorilla is just places. I think I overtook Wed Gorilla more than I have overtaken anybody else in the entire start of Season 2. Like, with the amount of disconnects I'm going to have this race, I overtook him like 3 or 4 times. It was incredible. It was a good little battle. But now we'll catch up to the back of Lucky Slevin, who's using a lot of ERS to try and stay ahead of us. We don't get past him into the hairpin, but we're going to hopefully try to get past him into turn 1 as he decides to go and explore Shanghai. At the exit of the final corner now we're going to use some overtake. We're going to slip up the inside, and that's going to be another position for us, as we're going to be nearing our pit window soon. And coming into turn 4 now, we set a purple sector 1, so we could be on for a pretty decent lap here, until, you know, the usual thing happens and we disconnect again. Yeah. Oh boy. This is yeah. I don't really know what to say really. As you can see, right, we're coming back in. I wasted about 20 seconds just looking because Casper had pitted before my teammate had. So Alex asked me to check what tyres Casper was on. So I did. Seeing as, you know, I'm not going to be doing anything this race other than the disconnection, I might as well be semi-helpful. And now this is a good thing. Obviously I've got to start another lap because my teammate is pitted, so I'm going to be a bit cheeky here and try to hold up Casper as much as possible to give my teammate an advantage, who actually appears just ahead of us. But unfortunately they're doing the one stop, so we still got to make a pit stop. We run massively wide on our really old and worn soft car tyres. Casper's trying to go around our outside, a little bit of wheel banging there as I push him wide, and I assume he lost the back end there. And he absolutely clattered into the side of us. But whatever, I'm not exactly fighting them at this point. We come to the pits of lap 7, we're going to bolt on a set of the medium tyres. Realistically I should go to the hards, but I thought the rain's coming, I might as well try something different. You know, with a pit stop around the points, we're currently P13, I got to try and do something, I would say unique. A 2-stop isn't really unique, but I've got to do something different as Lucky 7 retires from the race in the pits. That was my thinking, get these mediums to the rain period, and then maybe we can salvage some points as we catch us at the back of our good friend for this race, Wed Gorilla. And we're going to overtake him, hopefully on the main straight. We're on fresh mediums compared to his 10 lap old hards. He runs a bit wide through the S section, so we're going to actually go right around the outside here in the second part of the S, and that's P12 for us. It's going well. It's still painful to watch this and commentate on this back. Like, it got to the point, I don't know whether this is in the video or not, but Alex was getting annoyed for me. Like, he was so angry at the fact that this was happening, but it's whatever, really. The game is gonna kick you in the nuts a lot. But yeah, whatever. We just got to try and salvage something as Fish pits for a set of hard copper tyres, and we get around the up the inside of him actually for the second part of the sales section. So that puts us up to P11. We're 10 seconds behind the points positions. So I don't know. Hopefully we've got decent pace, so we can maybe close to the back of them come the rain period. And I feel like we did have good pace. We're managing our ERS, but it's yeah. I mean, fair enough. Like, fair on you, game. I don't mind. I'm not gonna get angry because, yep, it's not like I didn't want to actually race this race. Anyway, we managed to rejoin the session. P11, 4 seconds behind us, though, Fish. Bastinator had pit for a set of soft compound tyres. But he's just going to absolutely blitz past us. I don't know why he pitted. He must have been on old mediums or really worn hards and decided to pit for a fresh set of softs before the rain period came down. which is coming very soon. A few more laps and the rain will be here. As you can see, the sky has got very English over the past few laps. So we've got to try and hold it out, wait for the rain period to come. Maybe we pit at the right time. Like, if we look where everybody is, Alex is about 20 seconds ahead of us. If we pit at the right time, it is very likely that we could gain at least 20 or 25 seconds on him because of the crossover point. As you can see, the rain's actually started falling now. And coming into the pits on lap 21 is FTR now in the intermediates. Now, what he's done there that helps me is it's not giving me the position. The position doesn't matter at this point. He's still P11. But because he's behind me, he has given Alex a shit ton of information. If Chris catches up to the back of me, which he isn't because it's not the crossover point, I know to tell Alex that the Inter's the right call. Alex is leading this race. So right now, what I am is Alex's race engineer as Oslo goes for the exploratory mission of the Shanghai barriers. So that promotes us up into a points position. So if Chris on one lap starts catching, I will know that it's time for intermediate tyres. And he actually has closed about a second now. Now Websy's coming to the pit, so Chris must have relayed information to Websy saying that it was the right time. And realistically, I should have pitted then. Not because I thought I needed to, but because I saw a couple of other people come in. I shouldn't have waited an extra lap. But I don't feel that it would have affected us too much. You see, Websy is now 14 seconds behind us. So what I'm doing now throughout this entire lap is constantly relaying, and you'll hear me saying this, is constantly relaying to Alex what the gap is between me and Websy as Wax runs wide, so that gets us a free position. Up into P7. So we're actually in a pretty decent points paying position now. We might actually even get P6 from this race. But as you can see, Websy is now 30 seconds behind. DRS has been disabled. This is the perfect time to come in. And I'm constantly telling Alex that Websy's called me by X amount this lap or this sector. And Websy's gaining, he's gained nearly 3 seconds. He's gained, it will be 3 seconds coming the end of the Snell section. And Alex is going to come into the pits, hopefully. And he stays out. Yep. Because, I mean, that's fine, because now I get to come in. And I was telling him, like, Websy's catching me by so much, and he made the mistake on the strategy there. Arguably, I also made a mistake, not coming in the previous lap, but Alex, mate, listen, I know you're gonna watch this, but if I'm there, and if I'm telling you to come into the pits, please. It's fine, honestly. It's not like you didn't win this race because you didn't pit at the right time. There's a big brain move right there. But we're coming to the pits now. We've lost 7 seconds to Websy on this lap alone because of the crossover point. So if that was the case, if I had disconnected those times, I would probably be I'll be on a podium at this point. I reckon I could be leading because Alex wouldn't have pitted. But we're on to the Inters now. We're in 10th place. So we've got an point. And points is all that matters. And now we've just got to try and get a few more as Alex actually comes into the pits, and he has lost. He's actually coming to the pits yet. He's going to be coming to the pits at the end of this lap. It's I guess it wasn't a great race from the Alpha boys. Obviously, I can't really do much with the internet connection. If I'd have stopped a lap earlier, I would probably be in P8 now, maybe P9. I mean, P9 is just right ahead of us, but whatever. I had my issues with the game disconnecting me. Alex had issues with not listening to me. So yeah, he's going to lose P2 now. He's going to lose P1 rather. I think he might even. Yeah, he's also going to lose P2, so he's going to be in third at the end of the race. But our main goal now is just to focus on catching Hawks up ahead and maybe getting past him. We've got 2 laps left of this Grand Prix. I doubt we'll get past FTR Night as there's 8 seconds to him. He had the idea. He had a good idea of pitting early, but it just didn't work out because he pitted far too early. So go back to 2009 Malaysia with Kimi Raikkonen pitting far too early. But
Happens.
yeah, just got to hope to get past Hawks here. As well, actually, we are gaining time on Chris. I believe Chris, Bastonate, and it must be Raz Callum are battling quite heavily. Chris has actually spun on the exit of the snail section, so that's going to be a free position for us. That's P9. Go us.
This is when.
As you see, we actually technically have the fastest lap of a 28.5. How our AI set that lap as we're going to be shaping up a move on Hawks here. So we go to the breaker. So we actually he brakes quite heavily and we hit the back of him.
Actually, that's probably my fault.
I honestly wasn't expecting him to brake that late, or brake that early rather. So we had a lot more closing speed. So that's P8 just gone because we've got wing damage now and we've got 2 laps left.
Well, I've just
But yeah.
I've just hit the back.
It's just it's been a frustrating race. But whatever. I totally lost my train of thought of whatever I was talking about. What was I talking about? God, I don't know. Anyway, let's just ignore that for now, and let's focus on maybe closer to the back of Hawks. We aren't losing all too much time, so we can potentially maybe get him. But as we cut literally a lap later, he's already pulled out a second. We lose so much time for here now. It's our job to defend against Chris. He is pretty much right on our gearbox, but he has a full front wing. As he goes for a move up our inside into the double left-hander, we give him a big squeeze. I don't think there was actually contact there. I think he backed out of the move and got caught up on the curb a little bit. But now we've got a bunch of ERS. So if we get we just need to get a semi-decent run out of here. Shui FTD manages to break Alex's 3-win streak and wins the Grand Prix. So a very good race from him. Well, Chris is gone. Yeah, I was going to say we were going to need a great run because Chris had caused it massively on the snail section, but he spun. We're going to get P9. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to keep our fastest lap, which is what I was talking about because I have the big memory. Obviously, I was annoyed. I was basically like I wanted to get driver of the day and the fastest lap just as like a sole consolation because my game decided it didn't want me to race for half the race. But whatever, as you can hear, I crossed the line. I'm pretty pissed off with the game, but whatever, it happens. Let's just move on to the next round at Azerbaijan. I'll see you all for the review of the standings. So you can see the results there. Economic Berry gets P2, Shui gets P1. A very quick look at the classification there, because I just wanted to go. In the drivers' standings, we are doing amazingly well. So far, we are in P10 on 15 points. 75 points behind our teammate. Yeah, it's not going well. Obviously, we don't get fastest lap or driver of the day for that. It was just a joke that I wanted because I was annoyed with how the race had gone. But Alex is still continuing to extend his lead at the top of the championship. He's up to 35 points now. But yeah, something big is going to have to happen. We're going to need to start doing well because it's getting to the point. Yes, this is a 22 round championship, but we're 4 races in and we've got 15 points. Like, there's gonna need to be a change at some point. Otherwise, this title challenge is going absolutely nowhere. And after this race, I was honestly thinking the championship was already lost because of the amount of bad luck that we've had. But let's hope. It's round 7 this weekend. This weekend being the weekend of the... when did we start? The weekend of the 15th. So, I don't know, let's hope for some better luck round 7 and onwards. But you see the constructors, we gain on Mercedes by 5 points. Yeah, we're gonna need some decent races. But yeah, I'll catch you all for round 5, which is at Azerbaijan, a good track for me, but an even better track for Casper. So let's hope that we can maybe get some good luck there. So I'll see you all very soon.